Guys, we are requesting you to please watch our video and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So, when the ego become a voice, what once felt like an ego of Steve thinking slowly became a voice of its own. People no longer ask what Steve would do, they ask what felt true. Innovations learn to trust itself without constant reference points. Innovation learned self trust. Steve had always believed confidence should come from clarity, not comparison. The moment principles are tested quietly, there were no big crises. Only small temptation Steve principles were tested, not in headlines, but in ordinary decisions. When care becomes habit, care stop being intentional effort and become habit. This was the quiet victory Steve would have valued most. High standards cast long shadow, even in new places. Steve's expectations shape outcomes indirectly. Drama faded, work spoke. Steve had always preferred progress without performance. The return of thoughtful risk. Risk return not reckless, but thoughtful. Steve Courage had never careless. Simplicity stopped feeling minimal. It felt similar, grounding like home. Products began fitting into lives, not interrupting them. Steve had always designed with living in mind. Doing the right things again and again mattered more than one grand act. Steve's legacy live here. Innovations learn to respect. Small wins, improvements carry dignity. Steve had always believed detail change everything. Vision mature enough to stand alone. No explanation required, consistency demanded courage, especially when novelty tempted destruction. Design began notice mode. Fatigue, joy, Steve had always seen technology as emotional space. Marketing quieted, work communicated directly. Time revealed what mattered. Steve had always listened patiently. When craft feels personal again, making things it felt personal. Hands on, thoughtful, sincere. Choosing clarity over cleverness. Clever idea faded quietly. Clear idea stay. The industry calm depth replaced urgency. Trust built quietly step by step. Steve had never rushed it. Aging gracefully became success. Steve had always valued longevity. Purpose shielded creativity from burnout and emptiness. Influence work best when unnoticed. Attention was no longer stolen, it was respected. Work regained meaning beyond metrics. Ego steps aside, ideas grew clear. Honesty became tangible, felt immediately. Stopping felt wise, not weak. Messy day, tired nights, design adapted to reality. Limits gave shape. Steve had always trusted boundaries. Grounded ideas outlasted hype. Steve's thinking became culture. Unspoken, share. Care continued without care. Design accepted. Uncertainty, humbly. Confidence no longer shouted. Lessons remembered prevented. Repetitions of mistakes. Simplicity offered calm in a crowded world. Meaning mattered more than praise. Curiosity stayed alive through humility. Technology softened, felt warmer, closer. Pace shaped better outcomes. Silence was allowed to exist. Integrity worked best when quiet care replaced control. When the path became familiar, the path no longer felt uncertain, it felt right. Action replaced words. Depth was chosen daily, not once. Innovation without endings. There were pause, not endings. The living legacy. Steve Jobs' legacy lived wherever care guided creation. There is only become again. as long as someone chooses clarity, simplicity, and care. It is a human story of intention. When the journey feels familiar, the road no longer felt uncertain. Those who walk, it sense familiarity, not boredom. But belonging steep paths had become a shared rhythm. Innovation learned to walk without maps. There were no maps yet, only instinct. Steve had trusted intuition. Now others learn to navigate without certainty. The quiet confidence of experience. Experience replaced urgency. Decision came calmly, shaped by memory and understanding rather than fear. When purpose becomes invisible strength, purpose no longer needed explanation. It walked silently, holding everything together. The discipline of returning to basic. Whenever confusion arose, people returned to basic clarity, simplicity, honesty, just as Steve always had. Innovation learned to sit with question. Not every question demanded an answer. Steve had lived comfortable with uncertainty. When creation feel like conversation, creating felt like a conversation with user, with time, with oneself. The strength of quiet momentum. Momentum continue without noise. Progress did not need applause. Designing for understanding, not attention. Understanding replaced attention seeking. Steve influence lived here. The courage to remain unimpressed. Steve was really impressed by trends that restraint protect depth. When simplicity becomes second nature, simplicity stops being effort. It becomes instant. Innovation learn to respect emotional space. Technology learn to leave room for thoughts, for rest, for feeling. The quiet joy of making things right. Joy came not from praise, but from knowing something was done well. When taste guides without explanation, taste led decision sanity. Steve Jobs had trusted this inner compass. The long memory of careful choices. Each careful choice is added up, shaping outcomes year later. Innovation without the need to prove. Nothing needed proving anymore. Work stood on its own. When focus feel like freedom again, focus stopped feeling restrictive. It felt liberating. Designing with respect for human limits. Limits were honored, not pushed carelessly. The subtle art of staying curious. Curiosity remains gentle, patient, and alive. Innovation learns to move at human speed. Human speed replaces market speed. When other when work reflect inner honesty, dishonest shortcuts felt wrong immediately. Integrated, guided action. The calm that comes from knowing enough. Knowing enough brought peace. Steve had learned this late and passed it on. Designing without fear of being ordinary. Ordinary done well become extraordinary. Innovation is careful continuation. Progress continue gently, not disruptively. The quiet strength of humility. Humility softens brilliance without diminishing it. When silence feels productive, silence produces clarity, not anxiety. Choosing meaning over noise again, noise return, often meaning always faded. Innovation learns to be kind. Kindness enters design, not as weakness, but wisdom. The power of small right decisions. Small right decisions shape large future. When legacy stop being a word, legacy become lived behavior. Designing with gentle confidence. Confidence no longer needed volume. Innovation as quiet responsibility. Responsibility felt natural, not heavy. When works align with life, work stop fighting life and begin supporting it. The strength of saying this matter. Fear things matter but deeply. Innovation learn to respect time lessons. Past mistake guided future care. Designing for calm minds. Calm become my designing goal. The beauty of long attention. Long attention replaced short burst. When creation feels honest and whole, nothing felt missing, nothing felt forced. Innovation without rush or delay. Timing felt right, not early, not late. The quiet celebration of enough. Enough was celebrated softly. When philosophy feels lived in, ideas felt worn in, trusted real. Innovation learns to protect wonder. Wonder was guarded carefully, designing with patience toward the future. The future was approached humbly, the calm authority of good work. Good work spoke without explanation. When care became culture again, care spread naturally person to person. Innovation as an ongoing practice. Innovation became practice, not event. The strength of staying true quietly. Truth did not need defense. When the path feels right underfoot, each step felt grounded and clear. The story lives through choice. Every choice continues the story, only walking step by step with clarity, care, and courage. And as long as that work continues, the story lives. It is about how to live, create, and choose well.